Christian, it seems like every time you guys play Ottawa, the game gets pretty chippy and physical. Did you like your guys, just the response that you had?
Obviously, I don't think this is on, but yeah, for whatever reason, obviously that's a big rivalry. It's obviously, honestly, I don't think too many guys mind it. Preseason, I think it's good to get your kind of those emotions back. Starting on Thursday, there's going to be 82 games of that type of emotion. It's like I just said, I think it's nice to kind of get a little feistiness in the game and show kind of just that fire. That's the regular season, right? So I think that's good for preseason, and like you said, we've had quite a few spirited matchups with that team, and I would assume some more coming.
Derek talked yesterday about how hard it can be to kind of flip the switch when the regular season starts. I imagine a game like that actually maybe even helps.
Yeah, 100%. I think preseason, I'd say, differs for many different guys, but I'd say the main thing is just getting going, getting up to speed. Obviously, your habits and that stuff gets going, but just the emotion and the competitiveness and the energy that comes with game one. I could still remember the feeling from our home opener last year and how fun that was. Lucas flipping the guy, a couple minutes in, the building going crazy. But leading up to that, it's 3 or 4 or 5 preseason games. You start to get that edge. You start to get that kind of competitiveness back. And like I just said, I think that's great. Last night, obviously you don't want anybody to get hurt, but to get those juices flowing again, and I love our 23 guys versus anybody else. So it's fun. That was fun to watch yesterday.
What are big first impressions of Austin Watson been?
Yeah, he's been great. He's been with us all the way since almost August time. He's been in here, which has been obviously been nice to be around the group. He's gone to we've had him out to dinner hundreds of times. He's obviously fit along with our group really well. And we've played against Austin for many years now. We know what he brings, and you want a guy like that on your team. Obviously, he's well respected around the league among many veterans, many players. He protects his teammates, and he does a really good job at that. I think obviously, he's made one hell of a career out of it, and obviously I would assume that's a good reason why we brought him in. You saw it yesterday. Mo Seider is an all-star defenseman. He's not doing those things. He shouldn't. There's some respect factors when it comes around that type of stuff. So, not only Austin. I think there's other guys, but that's great what he did, and that's what he's done for hundreds and hundreds of games.
The kind of nastiness that he brings. How much of that do you think is a trait that maybe the whole roster can pick up on a little bit? I know obviously you have him to prevent guys like Mo from going to the box, things like that. But how much do you think that's a trait that you guys can all kind of adopt, I guess?
Yeah, I think it just drags. I think when situations like that happen on the ice, I think it gets a lot of the other guys going. I think maybe even it doesn't even need to be that extreme either. Whether it's him, I think he had 10 or 11 hits last game in Pittsburgh or something like that. You see a guy that's continually working, and obviously physically his MO, and guys that just won't stop, that just keeps committing to the body and sacrificing his own body. It kind of pulls guys along. I think that's a great leadership quality to have, and I think he knows that happens a lot. So like I just said, it brings guys into the fight. I think from what you said, yeah, I think guys try to do that in their different ways, but obviously physicality, that's when somebody gets blown up or a fight, or it's more evident that way.
What did you know about Vladimir Tarasenko coming into camp, and what stood out about getting to play and practice with him these last couple weeks?
Yeah, I just know him just from playing against him, and he obviously has had a very successful career. Obviously last playoffs, but particularly obviously watched Panthers do that whole run, and how good he was in that run. Even in St. Louis too, I remember watching those playoff series. in my opinion, one of the more premier goal scorers in this league. To see his shot in practice and in games, it's one of the quickest and craziest releases I've seen. It's hard to explain, but he has a very different type of release than most guys, and it comes off so damn quick. And you could tell within one practice. I remember being in Traverse City. When his puck hit the post and my puck hit the post, they make different sounds. It's pretty fun to have him on our team. Obviously, he's one heck of a veteran. He knows what it takes to be successful in this league, and I can't wait to start the season with him. I think he's gonna be really good for us and put up a lot of goals and be a really good leader for us.
What are some of the mindset and themes that you guys want to carry over from this camp in particular into the season next week?
I mean, obviously, first and foremost, I think we're, a competitive team is number one. What you want. I mean, every team wants to be competitive, and everybody is. But I think our identity as a team, we have very different type of players every which way in the whole entire lineup. I think when we're all on our game, and I think just a word comes to mind, relentless. I think when we're nonstop and staying above guys, checking, forechecking. When every line is playing their role correctly, I think we're a really good team. I think preseason, like I just said, it's a lot of mixing and matching and trying different things. But looking forward here for the next week. Obviously, play tonight and then get a couple of days of practice and get ready for game one. I think something that happens in preseason too is just there's so many moving parts with scheduling and if you're in or out or this and that, it's hard to really maintain focus on one specific game because you don't know which game you're going to play in. So I think once we get a nice game done tonight, get a day of rest, and then next week I think is going to be great for our team.
Mo made a similar comment the other day about everyone kind of playing their role, and you've been around a lot of different teams. Is that unusual? How important I guess is it to have that everyone kind of committed to their role?
Yeah, I think it makes a huge difference. I mean, everybody knows. I mean, if you play in the NHL, you know what your role is. You have to have some type of role in the team, and I think it just kind of correlates to back last year when we were a damn good team. We had all four lines doing their job, and whatever that may entail, for that night. I think it makes a big difference when you have even just one or two guys that are out of sync or aren't just kind of doing uncharacteristic things to their game. I think it weighs down on the team, whether it's turnovers or bad decisions, whatever it may be. So I think it's good. I think you look at our roster this year. I think we have more of a setup for a pretty deep 1 through 4 team, and it seems to be slotted somewhat well. And I think it's just at this point putting it all together, which, like I keep touching on, it's preseason's tough to do when there's so much moving around.
Thank you. What have you thought of your camp and preseason so far?
Training camp's been good. Traverse City was a good start there, and I was happy with the red and white game there. Getting to Detroit, really good couple days to start off, and I thought it was a good game against Chicago. Dipped a little bit there against Pittsburgh, but I think it's risen back to the level where I want it to be, and it's been good to finish off here.
How do you approach those games where your whole career you've been the guy at the start of the game when you have to come in for a third period? Mentally, how different is that, and how do you approach it?
Yeah, it's tough for sure. Obviously going in the third cold, but at the end of the day, that's what you're given, and you got to make the best out of it. So at the end of the day, you try and warm yourself up the best you can off the ice, and make sure that your eyes are going, your hands are going, but you kind of get in there, warm up and hop right into it. So it's tough, but it's exciting, and it's an NHL game, so you gotta take every moment you can.
Is there anything you can take from doing that and kind of apply when you go back into starting a game? Anything about kind of that suddenness, I guess? Yes
and no. Obviously, you're warm going into the game, when you're starting stuff with warm-ups and everything there, so obviously, that's different, but, it's going to happen throughout the year, obviously, if your partner, has a tough start or, hopefully not, but, if someone gets hurt, you got to hop in there and be ready, so, it's a good learning experience, and, you're going to have to do it every once in a while, so good to do it.
In Grand Rapids, it seems like you're going to have a pretty big workload as probably the primary starter for that team. And I'm curious, when you face a workload like that, what kind of lessons and things do you learn from taking on a big workload?
Yeah, I think obviously just the rest and recovery is that much more important. Obviously you're always taking care of your body, but obviously if you're going to be playing that many games, you got to be ready. You got to make sure your body's ready every night. So just an extra importance on the nutrition, hydration, sleep, and everything like that.
Is that something you've, I guess, had to learn over time in your career? Like if we went back and talked to like 18-year-old Sebastian, would he kind of know the importance of that, or is that something you picked up recently?
Definitely, as I've gotten older and been with more guys, obviously Lethman was really good in Toledo that first year, and then playing with with Ed, Michael Hutchinson last year, he taught me a lot of things too. So just picking up different things from different guys I've played with, and kind of putting that into my game.
What were your biggest priorities over this past offseason as far as making the most of the summer?
For me personally, it was a little bit of strength, just getting quicker on the ice, making sure my body was going to be able to handle a big workload, and I thought it was a good summer overall, and just continuing to develop, continuing to get better on and off the ice.
A lot of you young guys seem pretty tight off the ice. How valuable is that when you all are growing and developing and coming up here together?
Yeah, a really close group. Especially our younger guys are really close together here, and I think just going up there and battling every night with those guys, it definitely creates a good bond, and obviously all the time on the road together and stuff like that. It's every team, but we got a good thing going here, and definitely a close group of guys here.
What do you kind of expect from yourself this season? Obviously, such a good year in Grand Rapids last year. Like, what's next, I guess, for you?
Yeah, keep building. I think for me personally, it's I set the bar last year, and it's just every single year to keep going up. Take the things that I learned from last year, and start that right away. Want to have a good start this season, and just continue that throughout the whole year, and hopefully have a good deep playoff run here.
Great.
Thank you.